Well, I mean, we played a really, really good football team today, and we understood that going in. We were a little banged up going into the game, but our thing was we wanted to go out there and compete, and we feel like we did that. We feel like our kids competed, feel like they gave a great effort, and that's all we can ask. That's a great team that we were playing. But we think we have a good team. We think we have an up-and-coming team. We have some kids coming back next year that are players. And, we can learn from this, learn from playing a program like this. No question about that.
Go ahead, questions, guys?
Coach, you said you can learn from this, take some. What is it when you play a team like Mount Union, do you guys, for the first time, what do you take away from a game like this?
What it takes, to make, they made some plays that were precision plays. We felt like we did some things defensively that were really good, and they made some plays in spite of that. And you have to overcome adversity. You have to be able to make those kind of plays. You can't, that play and the pass out of bounds, when we had a chance to make a catch like that, you got to make those catches. You got to elevate your play in these kinds of football games. And we feel like we did. Now, don't get me wrong, I felt like we did do that. We did play at a good level. But they just make plays that are very difficult to make. Got some great athletes.
John had a really good game altogether. He had over 100 yards rushing and receiving, another 150 on return, so obviously that's pretty good numbers. What separates them as a defense from most of the teams you play?
Speed. Speed kills. When you go out there, we compete against pretty good teams in our conference, but then you come out here and play Mount Union. Like Coach said, you got to elevate your play. You got to be a step faster than you've ever been to make plays. So, they're a good football team, and I'm just happy we got the chance to come out here and compete with them.
It looked like they had you on the one play. Next thing you know, you're going 52 yards. That kind of says what you can do, though.
I got to stay behind my blockers, keep my legs going. I try to find creases, smaller guys, so I got to use those guys. So I could get through small creases and off to the races.
You guys had to play with a lot of wind going towards you guys away. How big of a factor did the wind actually play on the field? We could feel it on the sidelines; it was pretty heavy. But how big was it a factor on the field there?
The wind, I felt, played a factor in mostly special teams. Punting, kickoffs. They were putting the ball down to the goal line on kickoffs. Field position is a big part of this game, and the wind will always have a factor in that.
Oh, yeah, as far as you asked me that too. Oh, yeah, definitely. In terms of plays we wanted to run, we had some pass plays that we wanted to go upfield with, but you didn't want to make against these defensive backs. You didn't want those things hanging up in the wind. So when we were going towards the scoreboard, those were the only opportunities we felt we could use some of those things. So it kind of limited us a little bit in terms of what we wanted to do. But they had the same thing, you know what I mean? And I don't know what the ratio of scoring versus win versus not. If you pay attention to that, I don't know if it affected them as much as us. But it was definitely a factor.
How big a play was it, momentum-wise, turning the interception? I know you.
It was big. We were playing, pretty solid, right there. And to give them one like that at the end, was tough. I'll tell you what, they did a great job with the defense that they had out there. They have some things they do in coverage that they throw out there once in a while, and they threw it out there at the right time in terms of what they were doing. It was a tough read. We should have made a little different decision, but give them credit. They put us in a tough spot.
What, he just dropped off there and you didn't see him?
Well, they had from my perspective, after looking at the film, it looked like there was a bracket on the outside receiver, and there was almost like a double bracket, in terms of one linebacker disappeared and another one came from inside. I'll have to look at the film, but I know that talking to our players on the sideline, it didn't look like there was much out there in terms of where we were looking for the ball. And give them credit. They do some good things. And their defensive backs and linebackers can react. We wish they wouldn't have scored on that play. The interception was one thing, but that linebacker taking that thing back
guys are coming here to Mount Union, where Mount Union hasn't lost in 56 straight games at home. Was
Now
there?
you tell me.
Did you feel there was anything like any sort of weight or pressure upon you guys to try and break that streak here, coming into the playoffs? This is your second straight year making it in. Anything like any sort of pressure? You guys
This is
felt?
the way we looked at it. This is the way we looked at it. And we were going to go out and throw everything we had at this team. And, we didn't think about 56-game winning streak. We'd watched the films of the games that they played, and we felt like a couple of the teams at times played scared. The emphasis that we had with our guys was don't play scared. You will get blown so far off the field it won't even be funny if you play scared. You got to play hard and don't even, one play at a time, but play that play like it's the last play you're ever going to play. And I wouldn't be scared if that's the way I was thinking. You know what I mean? So I think that's the key. We didn't even think about the 56-game win streak. Yeah, we know all about that stuff. They're good. I mean, they've got some, there was an NFL scout here today watching a couple of those guys who I happen to have a lot of mutual friends with, came out and said hi to some different people, and we talked for a while, and he was telling me a little bit about some of the talent that Mount Union had. Scouts normally don't come to these games. NFL scouts don't normally come to Division III football games. They usually watch the film, but they actually had a guy here. So there's good football out there.
How'd that make you feel before the game?
Well, I told him about some of our guys. He knew about it. He actually knew about him. He knew about another guy. So it shows you how thorough this particular organization is. But it was a great experience from that standpoint. Yeah, it was disappointing to lose because we have high expectations. We're trying to build a quality football program, and it's unfortunate you play 6 straight times. What impressed me more than the 56 wins here is 6 straight times in the national championship. You know what I mean? And we need to do a little better in the season so we don't have to play Mount Union in the first round. You know what I mean? Although this was a great experience from that perspective. And we learned a lot. I feel like there's some things we can learn from that. Good program. They're good people. They do good things, and the competition is a part of that with a team like that. So you got to play them sooner or later.
You're a junior coming in. You got one more year left. You had over 100 yards total with everything that you did today. What do you take from this game to carry in the next season, as seeing as you are the main offensive weapon for this team?
Obviously teams will game plan towards things we do. I just try to go out there and compete, no matter what. I don't care who I'm playing. I'm never going to go out on the field thinking I'm going to lose, thinking I'm scared. There's a lot of guys on this team that are going to be back next year, and this program is an up-and-coming program. And next year we hope to be back, in the playoffs and hopefully make an impact.
Is it somewhat encouraging? Last year you guys played St. Thomas in the playoffs. This year you come playing on you. It's kind of encouraging to look at next year knowing that you guys have a lot of guys returning who have that experience from big time opponents in D3.
I think, that's a big part of it. Last year when we went to St. Thomas, the first time program has been in the tournament, so everything was new to us. This year, everything was organized right, and we got up here, relaxed, had downtime, took the field, ready to play.
Yeah, we definitely feel our kids were ready to play. And felt good about that.
Can you guys reflect on the season quickly?
Want to go first, Johnny?
Overall, this was a great season for us. Back-to-back champs in our conference. We got to come up here and compete with one of the most historic team in D3 football. Started off the year slow, obviously, but after our Kalamazoo loss, we got the guys together and we decided that we're not giving up on this season, and we rattled off, a conference championship, and here we are today.
Yeah, from my perspective, we struggled early. You know, a couple games that we felt we just weren't at our best. We had to shuffle some positions around. A year ago, we didn't have injuries like we had this year. So we had a lot of position changes. We have guys playing on the defense right now. We weren't even on the team early on because of some issues. You know, so for 5 weeks in the season, we had a guy come out after a couple of, he all of a sudden with the injuries we had, he's a starter, playing all the time. Not a starter, but he's in the rotation. So we had a lot of shuffling around we had to do. We didn't have our center playing today. It was a tough year for us with injuries. But that's not an excuse because the kid that I'm gratified by, the kid that played did a great job. You know, so we had some kids step up, so we're starting to find, hey, there's some players. And the fact that kids develop during the season, that's the most gratifying thing for me, is to see some of these kids under those circumstances develop, face adversity. I mean, when we were on the bus back from Kalamazoo, man alive, it's a good thing there weren't any, you know, sharp objects around for some of us, because we really were feeling pretty bad because of the way we played. But we shuffled some things around and got some guys back, and the kids reeled off a nice run in the conference. And there were some tough games there. You know, and I'd say this about our conference. Our conference is getting better. I mean, 4 years ago, the conference champion, 3 years ago, got beat 70-7 in this in the first playoff game, and you know, against the national champion. You know, so we felt like at times we competed against St. Thomas, and felt like we competed, you know, today better than we did last year.
Anything else for Coach or John? All right, thanks, guys.